Hey, I thought we would take a little walk. Where's he going? He gone. I thought we'd take a little walk and answer some questions. It's still pretty windy, but they were going by and looking at the trails and stuff and checking on our boat. But knocked down this big tree, and then there's this tree that goes underneath it. And then there's two more trees that I think came down with this big guy. Let's go down front and take a look. There you go. So you can see one right here, 2 and 3. And that's getting close to our boat. I'm glad it didn't nothing hit our boat. That's crazy. So one of our biggest questions is, why don't we build a dock? Well, let me show you. The main reason is right about where my lovely wife is standing is the 20-foot tide mark. Here's our boat, here's 20-foot tide. 20 foot's as high as it gets. And then if you go out that way about a football field long, 100 yards, that's where the lowest tide goes. So really you'd have to make 100 yards worth of dock to be able to park your boat and then get off your boat and come up here. So it would always stay afloat.
To be honest with you, in the wintertime, the odds are that we would probably lose it because of the high seas that come through here.
Another great question that we always get is, why don't we put something permanent over here, like either a ramp system or some way to help ease the way for us to pull the boat out of the water. And the truth is this isn't our property. This is state-owned property, so we can't put anything permanent here because we don't own the property. Then I know the next question is, well, why don't you put something in front of your property? Okay, let me show you this. This is the area right in front of where we park our boat. Now this is facing southeast, I guess, mostly south. Now the majority of our wind comes from the east in the winter and sometimes the west, and that's the predominant wind chart is going east and west. That's why when you see airports, they always line up their departures and arrivals facing into the wind. So that's why their landing strips is always a certain direction. And so the way our cabin faces is east, and that's where the majority of the wind comes from. And we'll show you how calm it is here and what it looks like in front of our cabin right now.
And we'll tell you stories about if you park out in front, what happens to you.
Yeah. Several boats have been lost here, and that's why we don't.
Yeah.
But we'll tell you, we got stories. Maybe what's the Wednesday stories? Maybe here, we don't know. All right, we're going for a walk. So right here, this is kind of where the south and the east side of the island come to a point. So this is the side where we park our boat, and you can see there's some white caps out there, but the more you go that way towards the inland, there's not as many white caps. This way, this is facing east, and the further you go towards the east, the more it picks up. So we'll show you what it looks like right in front of our place. All right, as we get closer to the cabin, I thought we would show you what it looks like in front of our place. What's up, Gummy? Here is a dock that somebody built. It's on the land now because guess what?
It got loose from high seas and landed over right here.
It just gets too windy and it will just tear a dock apart, and it'll just wash over to the next island and show up on our beach. So somebody's tried it.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out for them too well. And then we get stuff that wash up. We get these little things like this that wash up. All kinds of stuff. Right?
Yep.
So we've been having strong winds for the last 3 days, right?
Yep.
And we're just walking the trail, and we have another one bit the dust. And you can see it kind of scraped up this guy. Anyways, we'll come get the chainsaw and get some of these trees out of the way. Gunner's having a good time though. That's why we don't build anything in front of the cabin. It's just too windy in front. Think about trying to back your boat into that and then launch your boat with that big swell and it just going over the stern, and then you're sinking, and no thank you. And the other thing is think about trying to put your boat into that with a tailwind or a crosswind like that. It's just too much. So that's why we keep our boat over on the state side. And yeah, I mean really it's just the best solution for us, because there's no real other way to do it right here in front of our place. In the summertime when there's no wind, you could definitely do that, but not in the wintertime. So another question we get is, are there roads to the island?
Nope.
There are no roads to the island.
Nope.
The other question, the follow-up question was, every time we go to town, do we put our boat in the water and take it out of the water?
Yes.
No.
We don't?
No. We don't do it in the summertime.
Wait, I put our boat in the water and take it out when we come into town?
No, I mean like pull it up on the beach like we do.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
No, we don't need to, because the seas are pretty steady. Maybe.
We only pull it out of the water if there's a storm coming. So if it's like 20 knots or less in the winter, we won't pull it out of the water. In the summertime, it's pretty much always nice, so we don't pull it out of the water then.
Yeah, I would say about 35 knots we start really looking close, and then 40 for sure. If 40's coming, we pull it out.
Yeah, if it's 25 knots and we know there's going to be gusts, we normally pull it out of the water then.
Yeah.
And in the wintertime, when it gets down into the teens, the 20s and teens, we deal with what they call freeze and spray. That's where water hit your boat and then freeze like instantly. And if your wind's blowing your boat this way and the water's hitting your port side, then it gets your port side heavy, and then that way water can go in over your boat and it'll sink you.
That happened, was it last year on one of the islands next to us? He left his boat out one night in freezing spray, and his boat was gone in the morning.
Woke up the next morning and it was gone.
Yeah, so they had to hire somebody to come out and raise it back
retrieve
up.
his boat. Yeah. So one of the other thing is do we have a ferry system that brings us out to the island?
No, just our little red boat.
Just a little red boat. So if you don't have a boat or somebody who can get you here, then you just can't get to the island. You can get here 3 ways. One's by boat, one's by float plane, and the other's if you want to hire a helicopter to bring you out. Those are the 3 ways to get to the island.
Yep.
I think that'll do it for this question. Let's head back to the cabin.
Sounds good.
So we had one caveat, and that was there's one other way to get out here.
We haven't seen anybody do it, but we have a friend on the island who has done it. So the 4th way to get out here is a Mustang suit and a
jet ski.
So
yeah.
We've heard he's done it. I don't think he has it anymore, but over the years.
He's a little older now, but when he was younger, in the winter he'd put a Mustang suit on and get on his jet ski and come over.
So
I mean, jet skis aren't really that sinkable, so I mean it kind of makes sense.
It kind of does.
I'm sure it was a cold ride, but
definitely.
So anyways, there's another way to come over.
Yep.
Do we?
It's getting dark.
It is getting dark. Do we live out here in the wintertime?
Yes.
Well, she answered that.
Well, we're the only ones out here.
Yeah, typically.
This year we are.
This year. We had Steve and Janet and their kids that stayed out here for the previous 2 years, but then they moved into town, and so now it's just us again.
Yeah, we have.
But on the island, on another island close to us, there's one guy that stays out there year round, and so if anything ever happens, he can call us and we can call him, and that way we always have like a lifeline, if you will, if anything happens we need to get to town and can't, or same thing for him. Yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty quiet this year.
If he's watching, hi Dale.
It's pretty quiet this year. We missed the for sure.
Yeah.
It was nice for our daily walks to meet up with them and
Yeah, talk with the girls.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So we miss you guys. I know it'll be a couple years, but
We'll see you back out here in 2023. If you guys want to have us do another question and answer, just leave your questions down below. And maybe we'll do a follow-up Q&A with what you guys have in mind for the next one. How many people live on the island?
all together,
Yeah.
like as of the second,
As of the 2nd, there's 2.
you and me and Gunner.
And Gunner. Of course, Gunner. Yeah, I'd say there's like 20, maybe 30 cabins out here.
I don't know. We should probably count. We've never actually like counted.
Well, if you go on, because the island has like an email list, so if you're getting rid of something like a bed or a chest or drawer or something like that, you could throw it up on the email list, and that way people will know that you're trying to get rid of something. Or like when we brought the tractor out, if somebody needs to have something big brought over and you're bringing something big over,
You could halvesies.
yeah, share the cost of the landing craft to get something over here. So that's what that's for. But I think with the email list, there's maybe 20 to 30 people, and those range from anywhere between like 12 by 12 like cabins. That one cabin, the little hut cabin's like a 8 by 8. I mean, it's just a box. So you got anywhere from that to like our cabin, and then there's cabins that are even bigger than ours out here. So but the majority of these cabins are either people that just use them to come over and hunt, or they're like weekend cabins, like people are taking a vacation and they want to come out for the weekend. But that's pretty much it, ain't it?
Yeah.
So normally in the summertime, you can hear and see other people, but in the wintertime it's just us.
Yeah.
I was gonna film a section for Gunner. Oh, but it's a Seagull. Hey, come here. Hey, Sugar. Call Gunner.
Gunner, come here. Sit.
Is Gunner ever gonna have a companion?
Yes, maybe after Phoenix's graduation. I think we'll do it.
We may be getting a second dog for Gunner to have a play pal, a buddy.
He really doesn't want one. He's very content to be a
He's kind of old and grumpy, but he'll get over it.
Look at him. You think he'll get over it?
I don't know, maybe not. Hey,
Yeah.
are we rich?
No.
How do we afford all this, Mama?
On your military retirement.
Yeah, so no, we are not rich. I retired from the Army, and then I worked at a gold mine for a few years, and we just paid all of our bills off and saved up a little money, and then we live off of my Army retirement money. That's basically what we do. We get a little bit of money, like $100 from YouTube a month, but that's not like a livable income. So
No, we really make do with, we only use one cell phone. That's your one cell phone. And food, gas for what we need at the cabin. But other than that, well, we did tap into
our savings.
The tractor this year.
Yeah, because we bought the tractor.
So we even have to be more frugal than we have been, but
that's why not so many projects are going on, because we got to save up some more money.
yeah.
I don't even know if this is going to come out because it's dark. It's
It is dark.
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but I think the sun's setting at like 3:30 today, so it's already getting dusky.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway, so rich, no. Army retirement, yes. If you could do it over again, would you?
well, of course.
You're not tired of it yet?
No. Every once in a while I get frustrated if I fall, because I fall a lot out here. The rocks are damn slippery.
Trees are slippery.
Trees are slippery.
The roots are slippery.
So every once in a while I'm clumsy and I go down and things hurt a lot more than they used to, but I usually get over it pretty fast.
If you could change one thing or do one thing different, what would you do? Like, what do you think that we did that we should have done differently?
That's a really good question.
Maybe we should save that for What's Up Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a What's Up Wednesday question. Hey, wait a minute, we got light. Hold on. Hey, thanks for watching this video.
We'll see you later.